Alright, so I thought that we would finish out the week with doing a video that will not drive me completely fucking insane, unlike the video that I did yesterday. If you haven't seen that video yet, you should go see it. It's probably it is the only time you are going to see me do a flat earth video and you just see me go balls to the walls crazy. Okay? But today we're gonna be looking at the amazing Randi, the magician turned psychic and paranormal debunker. Now this video was from, I can't remember the year. It's from That's My Line, and that's Bob Barker. But to make a long story short, Randi put out a challenge to people. If you could prove psychic ability, Randi would pay you $10,000. That pot has now gotten to $1 million. And to this very day, nobody's been able to claim it because Randi's been able to debunk them all. Now, we're going to watch one of Randi's most famous debunkings. This is going to be some good shit. I'm bringing this to you because it is good shit.
Line featured the world-famous magician, the amazing Randi. Well, we invited him back tonight for a very special reason. Here he is, the amazing Randi.
Now this is going to go into a brief description about what Randi is, what he's doing, all that. I'm gonna play all that. I'm not gonna play the whole 18 minutes of it. Okay, I'm gonna. If you want to see all of it, I will put the video down in the description below.
Now, you have been touring our country performing as a magician, but you have also been debunking psychics, haven't you?
I have indeed.
Would you explain to our audience why you devote so much time to this crusade of yours?
Well, I'll tell you, Bob, I feel it's a very serious matter to be particularly raising a younger generation who are being led to believe by some incompetent and not very bright, in some cases, magicians and scientists at the same time, that there are such things as psychic powers. I've looked for it for a long time now, and I have not found anything in 35 years. And I think that particularly a younger generation being told that these things are real will not be raised in such a way that they can deal with a rational, logical, real world.
And you have offered $10,000 to anyone who can perform a psychic feat.
I have indeed, and I carry the check with me.
I hope you have the check with you tonight, because we have a young man who claims to be able to move objects with his mind. What I would like to have you do is to go backstage and watch carefully as I ask this young man to demonstrate his psychic powers.
Very well, I will.
Make yourself comfortable in front of a monitor.
All right, so I'm going to let Bob Barker bring that dude out and let him give a brief description, but I'm not going to do the entire description because that guy goes on for like 5 fucking hours, okay? I'll just give you the long and short of it when he gets out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet a very interesting young man. He is only 21 years old. He's from Salt Lake City, and he's the founder of the Institute of Shaolin Kung Fu, and the subject of much controversy. Welcome, James Randi. All of us are very pleased, not just pleased, but excited to have you with us. Now, you claim to have psychic powers, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Is this something that you have discovered recently, or have you known of it since childhood? How did it all begin?
Well, everyone's born with it. It's just a matter of development.
How did you develop your psychic power?
Well, through background and through training from an old Chinese master.
What sort of training?
Martial arts, kung fu, and laws of nature.
Well, what was...
Okay, that's all you need to know. Okay, that's it. That is literally all of it because the rest of it is just filler. We are going to get to the part where he is performing his tricks, okay? I'm not going to milk this shit for 10 minutes. You know, it's unnecessary. All right, so we're at the part where he is going to perform his first trick, where he is going to move a pencil with his mind.
I'm going to move a pencil for you.
With just psychic powers?
Just psychic powers.
Very well. Here's a pencil, James. Show us. will definitely move. Now, is it true that you can also turn the pages of this telephone directory?
Yes, it is.
And you will do that for us?
I'll try.
Should I take the pencil off the table?
Yes.
All right.
Yes, Bob, you can take the pencil off now.
There you are, James.
You would like to open it to any page, or should you want me to do it?
I'll be happy to.
Okay.
You gotta give him a second, okay? This is showmanship, all right? He's gotta play up the camera. You gotta give him a minute.
That's good, and I'll get it. Ready?
James, you turned the page of the telephone directory. Now, these demonstrations...
All right, so that was pretty neat. Now let's watch Randy fucking destroy that guy.
...name for himself as a master trickster and the author of Flim Flam, The Amazing Randy. Randy, welcome back. James, Randy. Now, you saw James' demonstration from backstage.
Yes, I did.
And do you accept that as a demonstration of psychic power, or do you believe that he used trickery?
I don't accept it as a demonstration of psychic power, Bob. I think that the solution is rather simple. I think that Mr. Heydrich is merely, to accomplish this effect, blowing on both the page and on the pencil.
I see. Now, you originally asked him to demonstrate in two different ways his psychic power. But as I understand it, you are now prepared to waive the demonstration with the pencil.
Yes, and the reason is rather simple, because the pencil reacts to even the currents of the air conditioning in this studio. It would be very difficult to try to put controls on it in such a way that normal currents of air that are present all the time would not move the pencil. For example, it moves very, very easily.
All right, you're not going to ask him to do that. That's one down, one to go, James. You are prepared to pay
he just wrecked him in 5 seconds.
him $10,000 if he can turn the page of the telephone directory with certain controls. Is
That's
that
right.
You have the $10,000, do you, Randy?
I do indeed. It's right here. I've carried this check now for going on 17 years, Bob. There it is, a check for $10,000 awardable to the gentleman should he be able to successfully perform the demonstration.
I would like to introduce our panel of judges. And our first judge here, Dr. John Palmer.
Okay, they're scientists. That's all you need to know.
Since my theory, as yet unproven, of course, is that it's accomplished simply by blowing, though rather cleverly, I must admit, done, there should be a way, a simple way, without a lot of instrumentation, to demonstrate that fact by using one very simple control.
Now, let me just emphasize that this one control will not stop him from turning the page of the telephone directory.
That's right.
But you hope to the judge's satisfaction will demonstrate that he is doing it with his breath.
That's correct.
All right.
He's
fucking scared. Did you see that shit? That dude's fucking scared.
Now, what I have here is particles of a white plastic, which, when given a good puff, good heavy puff of air, will, I think, rather conclusively show whether or not blowing is the method accomplished. Now, it will not, perhaps, in some way differentiate between genuine psychic power and actual blowing, but it certainly should be very interesting indeed to see what now occurs.
Well, do you maintain that if the page of the telephone directory turns, that we will see movement in the styrofoam as well?
I think that it's pretty logical. We've experimented with it, Bob, and that's what we have determined in the experiments.
Very well. Are you ready to proceed?
I am indeed.
Judges, you're ready? James?
Ready?
matter, my guy? I mean, you having trouble all of a sudden. What's the matter, huh? It's almost like it's fake. You know what's going through that guy's head right now. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. That is what's going through his motherfucking head at this point, is that he is screwed. Because he knows there ain't no way he can turn that page. He just can't do it.
How many times am I gonna have to do this? Once?
This time.
How many pages?
More. Just one page, once.
This time and once more.
Now, James, you had another question.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What would you like to ask?
Okay. The styrofoam and the lights form electricity which pulls the page. Look. It pulls the page down instead of freeing the pages.
All right. And what would you like to ask us to ask Randy to allow you to do or for me to
To
do?
either take something else, either lighter or something that is going to that isn't going to form like static electricity.
You mean put something else, some other material around
Something
here?
that is not foam. Foam causes static electricity, and the lights is what heats it up.
All right, Randy, is there anything else that you can put around the telephone directory?
I've heard the question, but the question is not valid because it's making an assumption which is not true. The foam does not in any way create static electricity, and Mr. Hydrake, in demonstrating that the pages were clinging together, didn't demonstrate it to my satisfaction. I think we could perhaps ask the judges for their opinion on that. I am not a scientist, so I'm not qualified to declare on it.
Judges?
Whatever static electricity exists in the styrofoam would not really affect the movement of the page or the clinging of the pages together, in my opinion.
I would add that if this is in fact psychic functioning, I don't really see why that would make a difference.
Very well. Randy, would you allow me to turn perhaps half dozen pages and then put them back?
Oh, yes, you may do that, please.
James? I'll just lift up 1, 2.
Lift them in a bunch, if you would, Bob. Just take about 1/4 of an inch of them.
All right, there, like that?
That's fine. Gently. Place them down gently so it doesn't disturb the foam. I know. I thought you
Oh, the
wanted
other
to place
way?
them- Yeah, the other way. That's what I thought you meant.
Would that
Sure.
be helpful to you?
The static is going to still be here because of the foam. See, that's what
Well,
I'm
it is the
saying.
opinion of the judges that there is not enough static formed by the foam to be a problem. So, under the...
So why don't you just go get an anti-static sheet that they throw in the dryer? That will get rid of all the static electricity, and then you will be able to do it.
conditions agreed upon, it would seem that now you should at least try with psychic power to turn the page of the telephone directory, James.
Okay.
You can't do it. You can't do it, bitch.
It's not going to turn for you?
No, it isn't.
Well, have you reached the point then when at which we can declare the demonstration terminated?
This isn't a magician's trick. I can't just come up, bang, bang, and it's over. I have to be...
No. Okay, you actually did that. You actually did that. You came on the stage and you were able to produce the goods, but all of a sudden, when there is stuff that could see that you are trying to blow on that fucking paper, it's gonna expose your dumb ass. All of a sudden, you can't do it.
To where I can work with something small and then big, to build up my own self. So this is, it isn't a trick. It has to be done. This is just, it's power. It's mental power.
The conditions agreed upon have been fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we can't change the conditions now in midstream. So, in the opinion of our judges here, you have not seen a demonstration of psychic power, have you?
Yes, that's correct.
You have not. And Randy, obviously, James has not won the $10,000 with this demonstration.
So it seems.
Now, you have heard what James's explanation is. Do you have any comment to make on that?
Bob, the comment
Bob, it's bullshit.
very briefly is that I have gone through many hundreds of these tests with many hundreds of people who claim to have psychic powers. And quite frankly, it's more or less the same story every time. When a simple, direct, very uncomplicated protocol is used and the control is applied, the psychic forces don't seem to be present, if indeed they are ever present at all. I still look for some sort of evidence of psychic powers. To date, I have not found any. Up to this very moment, I am still totally unconvinced.
Judges, do you have any further comment to make? You agree that you have not seen a psychic
that guy in the center, he is disappointed, man. Look at that fucking dude. He is fucking seriously disappointed. He's like, I can't believe I had to come on this fucking show.
Demonstration.
Yes, I would agree that I have not seen a psychic demonstration. I would like to say that as a parapsychologist, I believe that there are other evidence under controlled conditions that do demonstrate, I would think, to a reasonable person that psychic phenomena do exist.
Yes.
But obviously not in this demonstration.
I want to thank you very much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen.
Now, ultimately, this gentleman went on to be exposed as a full-fledged fraud. All the tricks that he performed, they were all fraudulent. He even made a bullshit school where he was allegedly teaching people how to do all these psychic abilities and shit, and it was all fraudulent. But I want to bring this to you because, I enjoyed watching this shit back in the day, and I like dredging up some old shit and fucking bringing that stuff to you. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you people on Monday. Until then, y'all have a very, very wonderful day.